You're staring at the ocean. There's no monster, no movement, no threat you can see. And yet your chest tightens, your stomach drops, and all you want is solid ground. That feeling has a name, and it's much older than you think. What you're looking at is a view of the ocean, and it would be beautiful if it wasn't simultaneously and completely terrifying. There are no sea monsters breaking the surface, no krakens, no shadows moving beneath the waves. It's just water, endless, calm water. And yet, something about it makes your heart race and your instincts scream to get away from the edge, back onto land. This feeling is called thalassophobia. It isn't the fear of sharks. It isn't even necessarily the fear of drowning. It's the fear of the deep itself. The fear of vastness. The fear of scale. The fear of staring down into something so enormous and unknowable that your brain struggles to comprehend it. At first glance, thalassophobia sounds simple. Fear of the ocean. But that definition doesn't really capture what people actually experience. Most people who feel it aren't afraid of beaches, pools, or even swimming near the shore. They might enjoy the sound of waves or floating calmly in shallow water. The fear begins when the water turns dark. Instead, it exists as a cultural label, a word people use to describe a very real and very intense reaction that science still struggles to neatly categorize. The word itself comes from Greek, thalassa, meaning sea, and phobos, meaning fear. But that translation hides the complexity of the experience. People who feel thalassophobia will tell you it's not about danger they can see. It's about danger they can't. It activates even when you know, rationally, that you're safe. There are two main elements that fuel it. The first is sheer scale. The ocean covers about 360 million square kilometers of the Earth's surface. Stand at the edge of it, and it stretches beyond the horizon in every direction. Your brain instantly understands how small you are in comparison. That feeling of insignificance, of being dwarfed by something endless, creates a sense of helplessness that humans are not comfortable with. The second element is darkness. The average depth of the ocean is around 3.7 kilometers. Sunlight only penetrates roughly the first 100 meters. That means the vast majority of the ocean exists in permanent darkness. When you look down into deep water, you aren't just looking at water. You're looking at an environment where vision fails and imagination takes over. Psychologists describe this as a mix of uncertainty, lack of control, and the inability to prepare. Humans like to see threats so they can plan for them. In the ocean, you can't. You can't see far. You can't move fast. You can't fight effectively. You're suspended above something bigger than you, older than you, and entirely indifferent to your existence. That's why thalassophobia is often compared to other primal fears. Claustrophobia traps us in tight spaces. The ocean does something unique. It combines both. It's vast and open, yet it feels suffocating. You're free to move, but painfully slow. Every motion feels heavy. Everything around you belongs there more than you do. This leads to a deeper question. If this fear shows up even when we're safe, Why does it exist at all? Why does our body react so strongly to deep water when no immediate threat is present? Many people assume the answer is sea monsters, ancient predators, giant sharks and reptiles that could swallow a human whole. And at first, that seems reasonable. Creatures like megalodon or mosasaurs sound like perfect explanations for why humans would fear the ocean. But there's a problem with that idea. Humans never lived alongside those animals. Megalodon went extinct over 3 million years ago. Mosasaurs vanished 66 million years ago. Humans have only existed for a few 100,000 years. Evolution doesn't build instincts around threats we never encountered. So the fear didn't come from prehistoric monsters. It came from lived experience. For early humans, large bodies of water were genuinely dangerous. There's also a biological reason this fear runs so deep. Humans are land animals. Homo sapiens evolved on savannas and forests, not in open water. We walk upright. We breathe air. We lack fins, gills, sonar, or speed underwater. The ocean has always been an alien environment to us. Shallow water was manageable. Rivers could be crossed. Fish could be caught near shore. But deep water meant entering a world where humans were no longer adapted to survive. When you look down and see nothing but blue, your brain understands something simple and terrifying. You're very far from land. That's why the fear spikes when the bottom drops out. Pools don't trigger it. Shorelines don't trigger it. Boats sometimes do. But floating alone above deep water almost always does. You're exposed. There's nowhere to rest your feet. No reference point. No escape route. From an evolutionary perspective, this fear makes perfect sense. Environments that were unpredictable and uncontrollable selected for caution. Over time, that caution became instinct. Some researchers even explore the idea of inherited fear responses. While still debated, the concept suggests that repeated dangers faced by ancestors can shape how future generations respond to certain stimuli. Whether or not this is fully accurate, it aligns with how immediate and automatic the fear feels. Neurologically, the amygdala plays a major role. This part of the brain scans for threats and reacts quickly, often before conscious thought. It doesn't need proof. Vastness, darkness, and uncertainty are enough. When those conditions are met, adrenaline floods the body. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tense. You feel danger even when none is present. This is also why images, movies, and games can trigger the same response. The brain reacts to perception, not reality. To your instincts, staring at a photograph of endless ocean depth isn't much different from floating above it. In the end, thalassophobia isn't about sharks or drowning. It's about territory. For most of human history, the ocean wasn't a place of exploration or wonder. It was a place of loss. Ships that never returned. People who vanished, a boundary humans were never meant to cross. Today, we have technology. Boats, submarines, satellites. We understand the ocean better than ever before. But the instinct remains. Because instincts don't care about modern safety. They care about survival. And when you look out over the open sea and feel that quiet dread rise in your chest, it's not weakness. It's a reminder of where we came from. The ocean was never ours. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind.